What's up everybody, my name is Just Jared and welcome back to another No Man's Sky video. Now before I actually get into what this video is about, I just want to apologize for the multiple days that have been in between each of my videos or each of my uploads. Like the last video was the IGN analysis, that was a couple days ago, and then before that, there was a couple days before that one. That was because that video took a long time for me to make, and making it screwed up my sleeping schedule because I wanted to get it out as quick as I could. And now I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back on track and get my video time back on track so I can get at least a upload every other day back up on my channel. So I do apologize for the skipping of days. I'm trying to get that worked out. Now with that said, all the IGN footage, all the articles that have been released, if you don't know, the schedule for IGN when they release news about No Man's Sky is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of April. And I know I'm behind on some of it, and I'm not gonna do a video for each video that IGN puts up. I'm just gonna do a video that kind of amasses everything we know so far, like this video will be. It'll be parts, information from different videos put into one about a certain subject, this being the inventory and the resources. So we're gonna get right into that. Just want to let you guys know. Also, thank you guys so much for the support. 500 subscribers, super cool. A huge milestone I never thought I would hit when I was back doing Let's Plays on this channel, and it wasn't working out. Nobody was watching my stuff, and I was told by somebody that I just needed to focus my channel. I was like, nothing better to focus on than a limitless game. So that's what I did. Now we hit 500 subscribers. I want to thank you guys for that. The support has been awesome. The other No Man's Sky channels have been talking to me, and it's been really cool to hear from them. So I'm super excited. There's stuff coming up that I'll let you guys know about in future videos or on Twitter. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at justjared_. But to keep in touch with all that and No Man's Sky news. But let's get into this video before I ramble on too much. Now we're going to be talking about resources and the inventory in No Man's Sky. There's been a lot of new information that we've gathered since the recent IGN coverage of No Man's Sky. But we're going to start off with resources first. So far, all these resources I'm going to show you guys have been, or elements, resources that we've seen, are going to be all from the IGN first footage and the recent gameplay. So all these elements we have to assume you can get from containers, cargo drops, or debris. Debris is like the ship parts that you can see glowing on the ground that you can salvage from. Cargo drops being those cargo little shipments that you can contain items from. And then I say containers because this image right here shows a Korvaxian house. Now in this Korvaxian house, you know, it has the scientist guy. There's these cargo, or these containers, the red containers right in this image right here, that have that glowing effect, kind of how the cargo drops and the debris have. So I'm assuming you can open those, and I'm assuming as well that there's resources in them, so like elements. So we don't know that. I don't know what else would be in there. Maybe blueprints. We don't know. We don't know if you were to take them from the Korvax's house, that would be considered stealing if you're not friends with them. We don't know how any of that works, but this is me just making some assumptions. So all of these elements we have to assume you can obtain from containers, cargo drops, and debris. But we're going to go through the list of elements. I'm going to show them on the screen and where we know that you can get them so far. Now, first up is carbon. You can get carbon from trees, which we've seen, and we can get carbon from a bluish green plant that I'm going to show you guys on the screen. This I caught like really quick. It shows up really quick in the most recent gameplay with Anthony Carboni. And so we can get carbon from trees and this plant here. We can get silicon from those blue bulbous plants, plutonium from the red crystals, sulfur from cargo drops. We haven't seen Sean gather sulfur from any actual plant. We haven't seen it harvested. Heridium from destroying sentinels, factories, and buildings, and Thamium-9 only from asteroids. Now Heridium and Thamium-9 are both created elements. Hello Games have added that to their own periodic table. Those are their creations of elements. All the others are actually real. Now another thing I want to talk about. Okay, so if I put the elements on the screen for you guys, you can clearly see that there's red elements, yellow elements, and blue elements. So we see the red background ones, the yellow background ones, and the blue background ones. Now we have carbon, plutonium, and Thamium-9 as red, and we have sulfur as yellow, and silicon and heridium as blue. Now these red elements are called fuel elements. They're categorized as fuel elements, and we know this when Sean hovers over the plutonium element, and we get a description. Underneath where it says plutonium, it says fuel element. So they are categorized, and also they do have a rarity. As you can see, there is uncommon element next to it. Now the red background ones are fuel elements, and we also have the yellow background, including sulfur, that we know so far is a commodity element, which we also see here when Sean accidentally highlights the sulfur element, and underneath it says commodity element. Now blue, we haven't seen a description of either silicon nor iridium, but I'm going to assume they are electronics elements because silicon is used highly in electronics in real life. And also, if you guys look at the top left hand corner of each element of carbon, plutonium, of all of them, silicon, iridium, there's a little icon in the top left, and I'll try to point to it for you guys. In all the red elements in the top left hand corner, it kind of looks like a beaker or a flask or fuel possibly, and that kind of matches with fuel elements. Also, commodity, the yellow elements up in the top right hand corner, has, I don't really know what the symbol is. It looks like a suitcase almost. I'm not really sure the comparison between commodity and that. But then electronics elements, you have a gear up in the top left hand corner, and that's why I think it would be electronics. Now to go over what some of these elements could be used for, all the fuel elements, carbon, plutonium, and thamium-9, are used for, you guessed it, fuel. Carbon and plutonium can be used for any type of fuel regarding your ship, or your shield fuel to fuel your shields and give yourself defense to like fuel your shield. So once your shield goes down, you have to actually use these elements and these resources to increase your shield so it will keep defending you if you're on a cold or really super hot planet. But thamium-9, Sean says, is used for your hyperdrive of your ship, and it is very effective for your hyperdrive. Now with the electronics and commodity elements, Sean did use sulfur and silicon to craft a bypass chip, which was an electronic in the 20-minute gameplay footage of IGN First. So those could also be used for electronics, I'm assuming. But he did use those, and I do believe the only thing he used those was for the land disruptor and the bypass chip. Now there's a cool way that all these elements show up on your screen, on the planet. They show up if you have a upgrade to your scanner that's on your multi-tool. Now in one of the previous articles IGN had written on their website during this coverage of April, one of the playtesters said that the scanner, when you scan with your multi-tool and all those diamond colored blips, those colored diamond blips show up on the screen, you have red and yellow and green, that is from an upgrade that's on your multi-tool, and this upgrade allows you to see what kind of elements and where they can be found on the planet. So when you scan, you'll see the red diamonds or yellow or blue. You'll see many other colors like orange when it looks like electronics maybe, or you'll see green off in the distance. Now with elements and with resources, all we've seen so far are fuel, commodity, and electronics, blue, yellow, and red. Now remember, I'm just saying electronics, that's speculation, but fuel and commodity are correct. Now, we only see red, yellow, and blue elements. We don't know if there are any others, but I'm going to assume that there are from this image right here. This image, we see tons of the diamonds show up. This was in the most recent footage when Ryan from IGN First was trying to survive on a sub-zero planet. You see these blips, you see these colored diamonds, and we see blue, we see yellow, and we see red. What I think those are fuel elements, are the red diamonds, commodity being the yellow, and electronics being the blue. And I think these are how you know what is there. So when you see a red diamond in the distance, you know that could be carbon, you know that could be plutonium, you know that could be a fuel, or that will be a fuel element. So you will go there hoping that is what you want. If you're looking for silicon and you see a blue diamond in the distance, you're going to go there because you know it could be silicon. That's what I think those diamonds mean. Now we do see green diamonds, so I'm assuming there will be green elements. Now, there were green crystals in the cave that Sean found in the first IGN footage, the 20-minute footage, but just because the crystals were green doesn't mean that the element would be green. We say that with carbon, when you can find carbon, which is a fuel element or a red element, from blue and green plants. So color of the actual plant does not matter. That being said, this is a good way and a sweet way to be able to find the resources that you need with this upgrade to the multi-tool. Now, I do believe it would be there probably will be better upgrades or different upgrades, so when you scan, it'll locate the resources you want. So let's say you want to find plutonium or you need plutonium. Maybe you just collect plutonium for the hell of it. Who knows? Maybe there's a scanner upgrade that just scans a wider area but only lets you know where there's fuel elements. That could be a thing. Or maybe there'll be upgrades for your scanner that just cover a wider area. Who knows, but that's just me speculating, but that's a cool little thing. This is me speculating a lot in this one because I don't know truthfully about the blips, if that's what they mean. I don't know if electronics elements is the blue. This is a lot of speculation, but since I don't think we're going to find out, I don't think Sean is going to showcase that much during this whole month of April and the coverage IGN is doing, I have to speculate. A lot of the channels speculate, and this is what I thought would be interesting, I think makes sense. So we're going to move on. The only two elements, okay, the only two element descriptions that we have seen are plutonium and sulfur, and I'm going to show you guys these right here. So now we're jumping a little into the inventory part of the video, but here plutonium reads fuel element, like I said, dash uncommon, so there is a rarity. Now underneath it says, the most popularly used element throughout the outer rim for transit through space. In rare instances, plutonium can be highly radioactive, but generally isn't dangerous unless consumed in an unrefined form. Also, you see that underneath you can discard, so you can just destroy the resources that you don't want. And then we have the sulfur description, which reads, sulfur commodity element dash common, abundant yellow non-metal, most commonly found in the foodstuff of the gek due to its use in scent gland processes, occurs naturally with a reactivity that leads to a wide range of use in galactic manufacturing facilities, often seen adding a splash of color to a gek trader's beak. Now we're going to start right off in the inventory screens of No Man's Sky. So right here we have the weapon screen. At the top left hand corner you see Hello Games 1, that where we assume will be your username, and underneath it says your units or your in-game currency. In that blue strip across the top right there you got the gun name, which I cannot pronounce. Underneath it says install technology companion units and charge ammunition clips. And to the left you have the white and grayed out boxes where you install technology companion units and charge ammunition clips. So right here in the first box you have the bolt caster. That is your actual weapon, your actual gunshots. The mine laser is your mining laser, which you mine elements and resources with. Beam amplifier I believe just enhances your mine laser to where you'll extract elements faster, maybe quicker, maybe you'll extract more elements. And scanner is obviously your scanner tool. Now all the grayed out boxes are boxes that you have yet or you cannot use, whereas the white boxes are ones you could build technology with, or build upgrades, or charge ammunition clips. Now to the right of the screen you have these upgrade bars where you have laser, underneath that you have projectile, then grenade, and then scan. Now these are your upgrade bars. Now the white around it, the white that's filling the rings around each one, I do believe is the progress. So here on laser, the 3 rings mean that you could have 3 laser types. 3 different kind of laser types with this one weapon is what I believe. So you have 3 laser types. Right now he has 1 laser type equipped, and the progress bar on how much that one laser type is upgraded, being his mine laser, is about 1/4 of the way there, a little over 1/4 of the way upgraded. And I believe that beam amplifier is what is creating that upgrade ring, that white ring. So the beam amplifier is upgrading his mine laser, and that is why that white ring is there. So if you get what I'm saying, it's kind of confusing. So there's 3 rings on the laser. So you can have 3 different types of lasers with this specific gun. And the one ring is the one type of laser he has currently equipped or upgraded into his weapon, and that is upgraded 1/4 of the way. So hopefully you understand that. That's just speculation on my point. Once again, I looked a lot into the inventory and a lot of the things that were looked upon and read and all the descriptions we got, and this is kind of what I got out of the whole layout. Now underneath that we have projectile, once again 3 rings, 1 is fully upgraded. Then we have grenade, and projectile I do believe is the bolt caster, like its actual shot of the projectiles, the actual bullets, if you will. Bullets, I guess. Grenade is there, no grenades yet, and scan is there, which is a little upgraded. Scan being your overall, the multi-tool scan that you can do. The next tab we have is the Equipment tab, which underneath Equipment says Install Technology and Manage Your Exosuit Inventory. So all these grayed out and white boxes, like I said, the grays are ones you cannot use and the whites are ones you can equip quote-unquote mods to. You can install technology with each, or you can install technology or build a product with each of these white boxes here. You could fill that white box with a product or with a technology. Now, there's one interesting thing here. So with the resources, you have carbon, silicon, and sulfur in here. With the resources, it was shown in the crafting video that IGN did that the specific ways that you put resources, the specific resources you put adjacent to each other will give you different bonuses and different, I don't know what kind of bonuses, that's all it was said, was different bonuses for putting certain elements next to each other or adjacent from each other. So that is really interesting. That kind of explains the weird layout of why the white boxes that you can actually place are just kind of scattered throughout instead of like in just a straight horizontal line. They're kind of randomly placed there. So maybe when you place some, it gives you more available boxes to put things. I do not know, but if you place certain elements adjacent to each other, you will get bonuses. We do not know what those are. Now, focusing more on the Equipment tab here, over to the left once again, we have the upgrades spots, the mod slots. We have shield kinetics. I know that is shield kinetics because there is a description in a future photo, a future image that I'll show you. We have a jetpack, which I have the description of as well. We know what the jetpack is. We have sulfur, silicon, and carbon. Now to the right of the equipment, we have armor, protection, stamina, and utilities upgrade bars. Armor being your actual defense, I think. Protection being your shields, so the different shields you have possibly. Stamina being your obviously run speed or like amount of time you can sprint. And utilities, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm gonna assume that's like your jetpack. Now we move on to the ship tab where we see the ship image there. It's kind of see-through. It says ship out of range, which means you cannot see your ship. If you can't see your ship and you go to your ship inventory, this is what you're going to see. If you can see your ship, I'm assuming you will see your ship there, or because it will be in range. Anyways, you have your ship name up there, which I also cannot pronounce. And to the left of the ship inventory, you have the pulse drive, which I'm assuming is like a low-level kind of base hyperdrive. You have Thamium 9. We see first Thamium 9 actual image here. We have a deflector, which I'm assuming is a shield, a phase beam, which is like the beam gun that the ships have, and what I'm going to assume is a photon cannon. I'm not sure, it looks like a cannon, I'm assuming it's a cannon, which is the actual cannon or other secondary type of weapon on your ship. Now why I'm assuming those are both weapons is because if you look to the right on the upgrade bars, the upgrade rings there, you have 3 weapon slots, 3 weapon rings, and 2 of them are filled, so that's where you get phase beam, photon cannon, 2 weapons, 2 rings. Underneath that you have armor, which is your ship armor. There's 1 bar, 1 ring, kind of slightly upgraded, and there's a deflector shield in the inventory. Then you have scan, which is your ship scan, and you have your hyperdrive, which is ship hyperdrive. Now the reason why I'm not sure if a pulse drive is a low-level hyperdrive is because on the hyperdrive upgrade bar there is no white ring. So I'm not sure about that, but if not, I'm not sure what a pulse drive could be. Now here's the image again with the equipment tab, where he shows empty slot and Sean is building either a technology or a product. Now also here we get a couple glimpses of propulsion. I'm not sure if this is propulsion gel or just propulsion. I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe it's for propelling like your jetpack, because that could be propulsion, I think. Maybe I'm stupid, I don't know. But I also want to talk about Thamium 9 here. Now Thamium 9 kind of looks different. It definitely looks different than all the other elements. Where above it, you have carbon. It's a fuel element, just like Thamium 9. But the carbon are 3 spheres. Like you have 3 spheres connected, and it kind of looks common. It looks like a regular element. Where underneath it, Thamium 9 is 4 spheres connected with these little lines. So this leads me to believe that Thamium 9 can be crafted by combining elements. Now you can still combine elements as far as we know. Combining elements is a huge thing in the game where you just put stuff together and you just find out what it makes. We don't know how you combine elements. We don't know if there's an option for that. There's obviously not a tab for that. So we don't really know. If you could just combine elements on the whim, or you have to be at like a certain station to do so, we do not know. But Thamium 9 kind of looks like an element that you would have to combine two together to get, just from the image on it. Now we do know you can get that Thamium 9 from asteroids, but that's all we've seen where you can gather it. So I'm assuming you can also craft it just because of the different look of the element. Who knows? That's also speculation, but it's kind of my thought. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now here, Sean builds technology and he's showing off the Shield Boost V1 Shield Kinetics companion unit. That's how I knew it was Shield Kinetics. Now in this build technology tab, we have three other select tabs you can choose from. Now right now we're in the armor tab of the build technology menu, and he has Shield Kinetics and he has Shield Boost V1. Now there's a little arrow to the side, to the right there, which I'll point to, and I think that just goes like to a page over, possibly. Either a page over in the armor where you can have more upgrades, or it'll just go right to the next tab, which would be the protection tab instead of defense. I'm not sure, but it kind of looks like the Atlas logo, like the star that you get, the wanted level, but I'm not sure. It looks more like an arrow to me, so it either could go a page over so you could add more upgrades, or it goes to the next tab completely. Now, next to defense, we have the protection tab, stamina, and utilities tab, kind of just like the upgrades to the right of the screen. Exactly like the upgrades to the right of the screen. But unfortunately, we did not get a look at these, only the armor tab. Now, underneath the Shield Boost V1, it says automated enhancement of users' existing Shield Kinetics system. So it's an upgrade to the Shield Kinetics. Provides users' exosuit with a more prolonged barrier against a full range of violent conflagrations. So basically a more prolonged barrier against damage is what I'm assuming, but there you go. Now into the jetpack. Alright, so the jetpack description reads aerial propulsion booster. Propulsion booster. That's why I think the propulsion is used for the jetpack. So I'm not an idiot, that makes sense. Alright, flight pack that uses lightweight canisters to create bursts of safe, neutralized gas to temporarily render the user airborne. Suitable for use in all but the most demanding of gravitational fields. User is advised to check skies for aerial traffic prior to takeoff. That line makes me laugh. It didn't just then, but that's because I've read it multiple times. User is advised to check skies for aerial traffic prior to takeoff. And then, like, right when I read that, I just imagined somebody just so happy they're playing No Man's Sky, finally, after years of waiting, and they jump in the air with their jetpack, and then just a ship just slams into their side and they die. Like, that's amazing. I don't know if that even can happen. I don't even know if you can get that high in the air, but that line just makes me laugh every time just thinking about that. That's all I think about now when I see this jetpack. Somebody just getting rammed with a spaceship midair. Anyways, you can dismantle these upgrades. It says down there, circles dismantle. That is to increase capacity and gain resources. Now, increase capacity, in the recent crafting video, they're talking about how these white squares are all you can hold in your current inventory of either your gun, your ship, or your equipment. These white squares, these white boxes, are all you have to hold things. And elements and resources are stored in these white boxes, as well as upgrades and actual tech. So it's kind of a balancing act between, do you want to carry more elements, carry more resources, or do you want to have more upgrades for your suit or your weapon or your ship? It's kind of, do you want to carry a lot, or do you want to have amazing upgrades? I just said that twice, but that's what it is. So that's kind of cool. That's really interesting because I could see the survival part of the game coming into play there. If you're like on a cold planet and you have a bunch of upgrades but you don't have something to replenish your shield, then you're going to be kind of in a bad place. So having more room for elements to replenish those things and less upgrades might be better. So that's a cool like give and take system that's really interesting to me, and that's really cool. I love how they put that in there. Now we have this charge cylinder in the equipment screen, which Sean once again accidentally scrolled over that we got to see a glimpse of. Now charge cylinder reads, a powerful energy source. Specialized power storage unit supplies instant power to targeted laser and plasma devices on user demand, vital to mining and sometimes self-defense. And that says charge cylinder 5 out of 10. So I'm not really sure what this means. It says supplies instant power to target laser and plasma devices, so it could just instantly recharge something. It is a charge cylinder, so that could be it. I'm not sure, but there you go. And last but not least, with the equipment screen, we have Sean where he goes to build his bypass chip to hack into a terminal to call his ship. So he goes into the build product screen. Instead of the build technology screen, there's a build product tab. So he goes to build product and you see 4 tabs. Now these 4 tabs are different from any we've seen. You have the lightning bolt, which is consumable, okay? Consumable, I don't know how you're consuming it. It's a bypass chip, I don't know, but it's a consumable. And there's also propulsion that you can see there, or propulsion gel, we're not sure. And then to the right, you have like a gem. I'm not sure what the gem could be. I literally looked at this for a while, thinking like what gem could be, like rare minerals, or maybe alien currency. I'm not sure what this gem is, but there you go, a gem tab. And then you have next to it, kind of looks like some like DNA or some kind of chemical tab. Once again, not sure. Then next to that, you have the medicine tab, or it's a pill, so I'm assuming it's medicine. We have yet to see how you heal yourself in the game. The only way we've seen that you can heal yourself is a monolith, or dying and respawning. So we don't know how you can actually heal yourself, because if you hide in a cave, it doesn't heal yourself. You don't regenerate health, you just regenerate shield. So we don't know how to actually heal yourself yet, so this might be it. Maybe you build healing things to heal you, I don't know. Maybe you build your own medicine combining elements, not sure, but that looks like a healing tab to me. Now, he highlights his bypass chip, which says illegal hacking device, and reads a single-use device of Korvax origin used to hack various encrypted panels. A handy must-have for all hackers, spies, space pirates, and criminals throughout the galaxy. So, if you're going to be a criminal throughout the galaxy, this is for you. It's a Korvax origin hacking device, which is great. It says it's illegal as well, but it is a single-use device, so once you use it, you have to craft another one. So once you use the 60 silicon and 25 plutonium to craft it, you use it, you're going to have to get another 60 silicon and 25 plutonium to craft another. Now we're going to move back to the weapon tab. So this is the build technology in the weapon tab. There's a lot of tabs, okay? There's tabs for this, tabs for that, but here's the build technology tab. Under the laser tab of the build technology tab, under the weapon tab, there's so many tabs, but we'll get there. So here, Sean highlights mine laser under the laser tab, and mine laser reads mineral extraction beam. And the description says a directed laser tool that exposes and captures minerals and releases gases. Sustained user operation can result in sentinel scrutiny and possible attack. Also used in the damage and destruction of alien flora, alien fauna, and sentinels. So this is basically saying this is where you can get materials from different, plants and crystals, stuff like that. But using it can have the sentinels, hate you and, look at you differently because you're tearing apart their planet and they dislike it. So this is just the laser that Sean currently uses, or actually uses in all of the gameplay, is the mine laser. And if we move on, you have the land disruptor, which is the explosive energy grenade Sean crafts to blow a hole in the wall and warm himself up in a cave. Now, this reads excavation tool that operates through the distribution of remotely charged plasma shells. Careless use can result in disrupted alien ecosystems, sentinel attention, and damage to user. So, the careless use, you can kill aliens, basically. You can attract the sentinels by killing these aliens, creatures, and, I guess you could probably kill the races too. And it says damage to user, so you can actually hurt yourself with this land disruptor. So if you feel the need that you have to shoot yourself or kill yourself for some unknown reason, if you get stuck in a hole in the ground, you can't jump back out, blow yourself up with the land disruptor, you should be good and respawn. Anyways, that is that. Now you have the build technology tab. You see him, he's tabbed over in the grenade section. To the left of the grenade, you have just the regular weapon, the bullets or whatever, and then left of that is laser, and then right of the grenade is the scanner technology tab. And the last but not least tab, main tab, I guess, that Sean shows off during the Anthony Carboni interview with him. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this Anthony Carboni interview, okay? I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if you guys watched it. I'll link it in the description. I'll link all the videos I get these images from in the description. But basically, Anthony Carboni kind of ripped the controller from Sean Murray's hands a little aggressively. Sean didn't really want to give it up because he knew Anthony was going to go on just a killing spree. But we got to see some things from this, and I think Sean definitely had a script for that. He was showing Anthony all the regular things, the things we saw in the first IGN gameplay footage. he was showing him the exact same thing. That was his plan, and then it kind of got off course a bit, and then Anthony ended up getting the controller. But we got to see multiple things. We got to see Anthony just slaughtering creatures, just got to see the physics of creatures when they're getting killed. We got to see that you can scan dead creatures, and you can still name dead creatures. We got to see a bunch of stuff, and we also got to see the Discovery tab, which I don't think Sean had planned showing us. But here is the Discovery tab. It shows the creature with like a cool like animation as you're looking, and it shows the description here of this creature, and which is pronounced obviously Echis-Iodanin, because that's a pronounceable word. And it has the details, has the height, the weight, the planet you found it on, the solar system the planet you found it on is in, and you can view the creature with a 3D model, and you can rename the creature. So there you go. The Discovery screen at the bottom, it says Atlas Discovery Network, Traveler Registry of Alien Creatures Encounters. So there you go, the Discoveries tab. We have finally seen it. Now the only tab we have not seen is the Options tab. Not sure how exciting that would actually be, but there you go. There is my video. I do believe that is all I wanted to talk about. So once again, a lot of this is speculation, but I want to thank you guys so much for all the support on a lot of my videos. I want to thank you guys. Like I just said, it's been awesome. I love making these videos. I'm trying to get back to one video a day or one video every other day, so just be patient with me. I'll get there. But thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for anything and everything No Man's Sky. Make sure to check out my last video, which was on the IGN analysis of the huge 20-minute footage that we got. It's a little long, but hopefully you can get through it. Hopefully he doesn't mind. It's really good. Thank you. Hopefully you watch it. I love the comments on that. People were telling me that they love long videos. It's really cool because I was kind of worried when I uploaded such a long video. I actually recorded that video for 1 hour and 11 minutes and had to cut it down. I cut it in half. Like, all this information I'm telling you now in this video was in that video. Almost. Besides the Discoveries tab, obviously. So make sure to check out that. It will be linked in the outro. Also, if anyone is interested in joining some awesome No Man's Sky PlayStation communities, check out Outer Edge and the No Man's Sky Atlas. I'm a part of both of those. We really talk about No Man's Sky all the time. I'm not even kidding. We're always in party chats. So if you see a community party chat open, don't be afraid to join in. We're always talking about No Man's Sky and playing some other game or whatever. So look them up, but that's it for me. My name has been Just Jared, aka the No Man's Sky guy. I hope you guys have an amazing and super sweet day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.